You ever have someone do something to you so bad that it gets under your skin forever and it still bothers you to this day? That's how I feel like Drake is with Pusha T because of the whole beef that they had and how a lot of people are siding with Pusha T and the fact that the story of Adidon kind of, dismantled a little bit of Drake's perfect career, I guess, his perfect armor. Brought a chink in that, and it kind of made people look at Drake a little bit differently. And even with the Meek Mill thing and the ghostwriting thing, it did have its little ways. But the Pusha T thing kind of brought things to light that a lot of people either didn't know about or were soon going to get to know about that Pusha T jumped the gun on. Regardless, Drake still throughout the years takes shots back and forth. Pusha T sends some shots. Drake sends some shots. Subliminals, of course. Pusha T has always said that, if Drake wants the full smoke, he can get it. I feel like Drake just toys around because I don't think he wants it. I think he was always wanting to go after Kanye West and not Pusha T, but Pusha T got involved in that, stood in front of Kanye, and, dealt with Drake properly. So what is Drake doing now? The new Travis Scott album, Utopia, Drake appeared on the track Meltdown and decided to take some shots at not only Pusha T, but Pharrell Williams, which, Drake looked up to at one point, and it's looking a little crazy out here. So on the track, he said this: I melt down the chains that I bought from your boss, give a fuck about all that heritage shit. Since V not around, the members done hung up the Lewis. They're not even wearing that shit. So what is he talking about here, right? Drake, if you guys don't know, Drake bought Pharrell Williams' chains, his old chains that he had. One was like a gold PSP, which was pretty cool. He ended up paying well over $3 million for all these chains. They're like old classic that he had up for sale a while ago. And, he flexed them in the Jumbotron shit poppin' music video. And on there, he's showing them flexing them. People were surprised that he bought it. As well, Drake announced that he bought Tupac's ring for over $1 million. So Drake, Drake's got money. Drake can blow $1 million or $3 million on some chains and not really care too much about it. That's why he's saying I melted this shit, because it doesn't mean really much to me. The interesting thing is that Pharrell got, the shots because Virgil, he's referring to Virgil, who passed away from cancer a while ago. And, Pharrell Williams was the one who took his place at Louis Vuitton, being I believe the creative director. It might be, newly appointed men's creative director for, Louis Vuitton. And Drake is clowning Pharrell Williams, saying that, like, yo, just because you became the new Louis Vuitton creative director, it's not popping like Virgil. This shit nobody's wearing this shit anymore. You're not doing anything like Virgil, because Drake was close to Virgil. Drake and Virgil got a great relationship. On the Life is Good song, he says, Virgil got the Patek on my wrist doing front flips. And, they've always gone back and forth, showing love to each other. So Drake is sending the shots here. And, he did say earlier in the verse, he said, my schedule is out. Come spin us for real. Man, fuck all that spinning the narrative shit. So he's on tour right now with 21 Savage. It's all a Blur tour, I believe it's called, or something like that. It's a Blur tour. Yeah, and, the dates are out of where he's at every single day. So usually if you want to pull up on somebody or a rapper, if you got someone to see problems with, rapper usually when they do tours, you can see where they're at, man. Every single night, every single date, they're at this location. So, and even you can even see the venue they're at. So, yeah, if Pusha T really, wanted to do something, he's saying, you know where I'm at. He continues that verse with the dissing, talking about pulling up, while he's on tour. He says, don't come to the boy about repairing some shit. Don't come to the boy about sparing some shit. You lucky that Vogue was suing, because I would have been with the Wassas in Paris and shit. So Vogue magazine, if you guys don't remember, Drake and 21 Savage had this funny promo rollout for their collab album where they were fake pretending to do things like media interviews and stuff, because, it's kind of like hey, we don't do media interviews anymore. We don't need that shit. We can promote our own music. As you guys know, Drake barely does interviews anymore. 21 Savage does here and there, but Drake does these weird, corny-ass interviews with random-ass people, like that one girl. No disrespect to her, it's just weird. It's like, why do those type of interviews, Drake? Do a real hip-hop interview where people ask you real questions. Be a man, do a great interview with those type of people that know about hip-hop, not just some random funny shit all the time, which is cool. I don't mind it here and there, but it's long overdue that you do a regular interview. Anyways, going on from there, he's saying, Vogue suing us being a Paris fashion magazine, we couldn't pull up to the Paris fashion show due to that because of conflicts of interest. So yeah, man, I don't know. I'm listen. If this beef happens, please let it be direct again. Please let it be like track for track, back and forth, spar. Don't just have it one track, and be done, and then send subliminals the next 2, 3, 4 years. I'm not a fan of this new hip hop of just subliminals. Like straight up, go at people, man. Let's get this shit going. I don't know what happened to the Pusha T and Jim Jones thing. Seems like it ended it off. I feel like Jim Jones won because Pusha T didn't even release the track officially that was going at Jim Jones. So I'll keep my eye on this and see what's going on. And, like I said, man, I'm all here for the spar and ASAP Rocky, sending shots at Travis Scott. That was interesting to me. So let's get it going, guys. Let's get some battles going. Let's get some interest in hip hop again. And, may the best man win. And honestly, in today's time, you can't really kill careers. So I don't know why artists are afraid of that. It's really hard to kill a career now due to all the social media and all that stuff. This is not 50 and Ja Rule back in 2003 where somebody wipes you off the face of the music planet, you're pretty much wiped out and nobody gives a shit anymore. Now you have social media, you have your own fan base, so it's harder to kill somebody's career. People thought Meek Mill's career was over. Nah, came back, dropped heat, dropped hits, was perfectly fine. A lot of different, battle situations where people thought their careers were over, but, people came back, did perfectly fine because of social media. So, yeah, we'll keep our eye on this, and I hope Drake doesn't chicken out after sending these subliminals and actually follows up with everything. I wouldn't be surprised if Pharrell Williams decides to produce a track for Pusha T dissing Drake. I wouldn't mind that at all, man. I thought Drake was paying homage by buying Pharrell Williams' chains, $3.3 million. That's a lot of money. But seems like he doesn't care, man. He seems like, what, he's standing by the ops, Pharrell is, so let me go at them. And it's unfortunate because I think Drake was a huge fan of Pharrell, man. I think he's stated that millions of times. And I think he's mad that maybe Pharrell never really worked with him, and that's kind of the issue where, it all stems from the whole Lil Wayne, Pharrell Williams clips, all this stuff back then, all the way back then. This all is like stemmed from that, which is crazy. So, yeah, we'll keep our eye out.